or doing demos in Ben's attic in London, or in Johannesburg or Baba Mal or Senegal with him as well. Like, we've had some amazing recording times, but this by far was the most enjoyable recording experience we had, and a lot of that was, I think, because we went into it feeling pretty free. Like, while the mind served a real purpose to us in that it meant that we could do whatever we wanted to next, and it was an important moment in our band's history, I think. And this one really just felt like there were no restrictions. Paul Epworth was the perfect kind of conductor for that process. And so the things we're most excited about are some of the things people haven't heard before. You know, using some electronica, using beats in a different way, using harmony engines on voices, and just being a bit more free and worrying a little bit less. So I guess it comes from a place of feeling secure, you know? Like, we feel like we've been a band for a while now. This isn't going to be our last record. It's not all or nothing. Even though we left it all on the floor, I don't think we've ever worked harder in our lives. It also feels like the pressure's off because we'll just do another one. That's good. That's a good way to be.
I'm glad you brought up important moments in the history of the band, because Ben, you've stressed that this part right now, at this point, the release of this record, is one of, if not the most important point.
Throwing down. You know, it's like, I think you kind of have to go out there with a huge amount of intention. And we just want people to know that we're not coasting. This is like, we intentionally get up every day and we choose to be a Mumford Sons. We choose to do what we do. And we're really grateful that everyone is giving us the license to do that and is supporting us. But we this album's important, you know? This isn't just an album. And when we made our first album, that was our debut, and debut has this like nice ring to it, and it makes everything feel shiny and important and brand new. But this is our fourth album, and fourth right now feels really important. And like, yeah, I think we just kind of wanted to emphasize that straight out the gate.
Nice, we know that every song on this album has passed the campfire test, which we know what it is. Can you explain for anybody out here who does not know what the campfire test is? It's a cool thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite simple, really. I don't know if we even coined the phrase, but we basically, to test the songs, we believe that songs are what carry us forward, not the actual sounds of the songs. It's not the instruments or anything specific about how we dress them up. It's more like what's at the core. And the best way to check that is to bring it all the way back. And Marcus spent 2 days, I remember quite clearly, toiling through about 40 different demos, just doing guitar vocal or piano vocal demos, and we just then could listen to everything on an even keel and an equal kind of footing, so you knew without anything else distracting you. You know, it wasn't like, oh, I love that banjo bit, or like, you know, you're not kind of getting distracted. You're just thinking, how do those lyrics?
Or I really hate that banjo bit.
Yeah, sure, you know. And so I think we got to a point where we could see which songs meant the most to us through that process, and to Paul, the producer, who helped us choose which songs went on Delta.
Marcus, you alluded to this a little bit beforehand, that this was one of the most fun times, if not the most fun time that you've had in the studio, which I think is evident by the number of songs that you came out with. Was it 35,
yeah.
40? Obviously, not that many are going to be on the record. How much, or are there any plans for the other songs? Have you decided yet?
Yeah, I mean, we were stuck. We'd sort of gone around a lot, actually. We did quite an important trip to LA in February, where we came and met with some of the partners we work with, and the label, and various people, and felt like we were a bit, we had all these songs, we listened to them all before Christmas, and we were a bit scratching our heads thinking, what's the best way to present these to people? And we hadn't finished recording them yet. In fact, we hadn't really properly started the recording album. We just started probably in April. But we'd got quite a long way down the road of songwriting, and we thought, like, people, you know, some people were like, well, you could do a single a month for a year or 2 years, and that, you know, has its benefits, or you could just do a few EPs or mini albums, or you could do a double album. These are all ideas that we came up with, and eventually we settled on just doing one singular album now. We love the idea of an album, the concept of an album, not a concept album, not clever enough, but the concept of an album, because you get to look at it as a whole and make different creative choices within it, because you know that there's a certain number of songs, and I think having one producer at the helm helps, because he can take a view, right, we can make this creative maybe slightly more experimental decision here because we chopped the ending of this one and it feels a bit more punchy, and it's just it really I think frees you up to make different creative choices than if you're just doing singles, in which case like the 4-minute instrumental jam isn't going to happen, right? So, and then yeah, we thought about doing a double album, and then felt a bit of a sense of urgency that these particular songs right now, this collection of songs that we're calling Delta, needed to come out this year. So we committed to that before finishing the record, which was slightly stressful. And thankfully we've just finished it. And then we're going straight back in the studio in February, try and finish the rest, because we really believe in them and we're really excited about what comes next. I don't know, you know, we have no idea when we'd release it or how we'd release it or whatever, but what we don't want to do is leave the studio behind for 3 years, as we have done in the past, or only demo for 3 years. We want to keep recording and take a little setup on the road with us, and yeah, because we're just enjoying it.
Well, thank you for being one of the few in 2018 that continues to stick up for the album.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it happens a lot these days,
which is cool as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like I love artists that don't make albums. I mean, or artists that make albums that they then go back on and change, and you know, that's all cool stuff. It's just that's not us right now. You know?
That's how you presented the recording. You have also announced 60-some live dates, which knowing you guys, that's just the beginning. Ben, you said you are going to use arenas in a way that they have never been used before. Wait, first of all, did you say that? You're looking at me like...
I say a lot of things I regret.
If you want to just coast right by that one, we can just bring Ted and Winston out here.
I think people now know, if anyone has looked, because you can see the seating plans, we're doing a show in the round. We are putting a stage slap bang across the middle of the arena floor, up into the seats, and that's kind of cool. Like, we haven't seen the thing done quite to that extent, and it's brand new for us, because obviously we've always just kind of been the four of us standing in a line at the end of the room. So, again, it comes from a place of like, we love touring, we love touring hard, but we want it to be as fresh and exciting for us and for the people coming to the shows as it could possibly be. And we're 10 years in now. So, yeah, I think that just feels like let's go and make a brand new experience. And yeah, these 63 dates are the first offering. Gotta say, massive props to our management and to all of the people who make those shows happen, because to even coordinate that many shows to begin with, which is just literally the first slog, it's huge work.
It takes us from like mid-November up to the beginning of June, end of May, I think, including 2 months in the studio. So we're trying to use every day we got, and then from June next year we'll have another tour. So the idea is we just work quite hard for a while.
Well, no one has ever accused Mumford & Sons of not working hard all of the time, and we are the beneficiaries of that, so thank you again so much. Do we want to bring
The lads.
Ted and Winston out here and get set up for some songs? Maybe we get up here and play some songs. Again, thank you for coming.